All right, here we are again. This has been sitting a couple of minutes. You can sit it overnight. You can let it sit a couple days, really. But I'm using it right away, and I only wanted it to harden, let the butter harden a little bit. It's easier to use that way. Now, here's where I'm going to show you the reason that we cut this, or we rolled this into a round, was because I sort of have a pie dough already there. You see, a little bit of flour on the board. In this case, this is what I'm doing. I need to go a little bit bigger than that. I'm about a 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Now, here's a trick that I'm going to show you. The way to get this pie crust onto here is that we start at the back end, put it on here, and roll it up like so. Hold it up, start at the edge, and roll it right back on. Okay? Now you need to give it a little bit of slack, so it doesn't, when it cooks, it doesn't stretch out on you. And now you get it to this point if we're making the quiches that I did earlier. What you want to do is, you can either do a fork with this. My grandmother showed me 3 fingers. 2 up and one across. 2 up and 1 across. And you just sort of pinch it together to give you an edge. Now what I'm doing with this is pushing down with this finger and across with this. The reason I'm doing that is if I do it like this, I'm stretching this dough here. And I have no intention of doing that because when you bake it, it's going to come across and take your edges out. So I'm pushing down and squeezing. Pushing down and squeezing. You lift it up and you take a nice knife and trim the edges. Now you can also, if you have kitchen shears, if you're a little bit concerned about cutting, just take kitchen shears. It'll work pretty much the same. Pie. Just take a fork, poke it, and what that does is as the steam from the butter steams up to set, it doesn't cause you bubbles in your pie. Let's do the double. Now I don't have anything here today that I'm going to be able to make a pie out of. So I'm going to make you a black bean pie. It's the only thing that I have that's the consistency of what I want. Alright, nice light flour. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. You want this to be level. Now I'm a little high over here, so we're going to do a little bit light. See what I got here. No, I need to go a little bit this way. Yeah, that's pretty good. And again, we're going to roll this up. Just very light with it. Put it where you can. You don't want to be dragging this too far. And we roll it over. Now this is a double pie, so we're not going to... You need extra on the edge, but not a ton, because the extra will come from the top. So we're dropping this down in. Try to go from the center out to the edges. And that looks great. And it's level. I'm using black beans here as a substitute for fruit or whatever you're going to make the pie out of. Alright, so I'm going to just show you black beans. When you put these in here, whether they're apples or something, make them a little high because they're going to cook a little bit and they're going to settle down a little bit. We finished putting the black beans in. I'm going to make a little bit of an egg wash. It's just 1 egg, a little bit of milk, and I mean a little bit of milk, just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingers and just sort of so that when it bakes, it will stick together. You put it on this side because you know where the ring is on this side. You don't put it to our little rolling pin. And we're going to lay this. Make sure you hit this right. Boom, and it's across. Now at this point, you do the 2 fingers and the 1. Again, but this time, instead of pushing down with this finger, you lift up with this. So we pull it up. We pull it up. That way you're not putting any stress on this, you're stressing this, which you don't care because you're going to cut it away in a minute anyway. So you lift it up, and we get back around to this. Now this we're going to again cut. When you cut this, you cut it down. You see what I'm saying? Don't get it too near your arm because it's never a good thing. Okay. Put a couple of holes. What that does is allow, as the apples or the cherries, as they cook or they heat up, the steam will come out of them and it won't blow the top off your pastry brush. That'll always work. I happen to have one. Take yourself a little bit of this egg wash that you just used. Lightly brush it. What that does is gives it a really nice golden color when it's cooking around the outside of it. Now, when I do an apple pie, I'll hit a little sugar on the top here, or a little sugar cinnamon, just to finish it off. And this goes in the oven, and there's your pie then. That's pies from Hagley. Thank you. Bye-bye.